racing against time for students in pathology. The topics are important from both OBG as well as pathology point of view for the reasons quoted above. The first topic is the hydratative form mole. This diagram depicts the placenta, and this is the maternal surface and this is the fetal surface. In between we have got branching finger-like projections which are the chorionic villi. And whenever I say chorionic villi, they are lined by two layers of cells. Look at this black arrow and I am finding some cuboidal cells. This is the cytotrophoblast. And beyond that, I find that the cells are merged with no intercellular margin. And this is the syncytiotrophoblast. There are a group of diseases that come under gestational trophoblastic disease. Sometimes this word is used, we do not become panicky. The definition is abnormal proliferation of the fetal trophoblastic cells, which can be molar or non-molar. Molar means related to pregnancy. Non-molar means elsewhere. And the molar itself is again divided into partial and complete. And in the non-molar is there is no mole that is being formed. We get a malignancy called a choriocarcinoma. And in between we have got a group of diseases called intermediate trophoblastic disease. So we shall mention these alone. This is a beautiful illustration picked up from the reference given above. So there is a picture of a spermatozoa and then a zygote being formed, and finally, unfortunately in this case it is abnormal and it develops into a hydratative form mole. Beautiful vesicles that we can see. A nice picture, just have it in mind. Hydratative form mole occurs in 1 in 5 per 2000 live births, and it is higher in the Asian countries. And the incidence is more in individuals who are less than 20 years of age and more than 40 years of maternal age. Normally, it is diagnosed because the uterus is larger for the gestational age. At this particular weeks, it has to be of this particular size. But in this case, it is larger and hence the suspicion. And it can be discovered early by ultrasound. The common signs and symptoms are as mentioned below. There is a history of painless vaginal bleeding, history of passing grapes, typical word that is used by the patient, hyperemesis or vomiting, hypertension, and HCG levels are increased, that is beta HCG. All these, the common one is H. So please remember this mnemonic, it will be of use. Morphologically, I find that there are multiple vesicles formed in the form of bunch. A vesicle is a cystic space that contains a fluid. I'm finding multiple small vesicles, some are large, another one is quite huge. They are translucent, some are even transparent. And they are all tethered together by very delicate fibrous tissue. And they literally look like a bunch of grapes. A patient who has got this complaint will be passing these vesicles through the vagina, and that will be the typical history they give. As mentioned earlier, a mole can be a partial mole or a complete mole, and it is a voluminous mass. It is edematous. A few of these are cystically dilated and it produces a bunch of grape-like picture. The vesicles are thin-walled and translucent. This will be the morphology. Some are small, some are large. Microscopically, what we see is edematous villi. Villus is nothing but a structure that projects. This is basically a chorionic villus that has undergone an alteration and it is edematous. Normally, when we project it in a slide, I'll be able to see multiple villi, maybe of this size, and multiple villi will be seen in one particular field. But here, this fellow himself is so very capacious or voluminous that he occupies the entire field. So it is hydropic, probably filled with water-like fluid. Club shaped. They are not sharp, but then like a club-shaped villi, and the stroma is loose and myxomatous. They are lined by cytotrophoblast. Cytotrophoblast means single layer of cuboidal epithelium, and there is syncytiotrophoblast. Look at this one. There is no margin. The cells are literally darker. Syncytium means joining together. So this is the syncytiotrophoblast, club-shaped villi, and the myxomatous stroma. There are these two types of moles. The star is here because you will have to memorize it. The clinical history is there can be a spontaneous or a missed abortion in both. The gestational age in a complete mole is 16 to 18 weeks. Partial mole is 18 to 20 weeks. The uterine size is large for dates, and here it is small for dates. Beta HCG is markedly increased in complete mole, mildly increased in partial mole. And the karyotype is given here, it is 46 XX or XY, whereas in a partial mole it is 69 XXY. The risk of malignancy is 2% of the cases can develop a choriocarcinoma. It is rare in a partial mole. And 15 to 20% they can form invasive moles, whereas it is less in a case of partial mole. The trophoblastic proliferation is diffuse and circumferential, whereas it is slight. Fetal parts, something that we should remember, are totally absent in a complete mole, whereas they are present in a partial mole. And the edema, it involves all the villi, whereas here some show hydropic change in edema, whereas other villi may appear normal. Please by heart this particular tabular column. It is of paramount importance. How do I get 46? I am a little bad at mathematics. Let me see. In this case of complete mole, there is an empty egg from the female, and this is being fertilized by a spermatozoa. A spermatozoa, it has got 23 eggs because it is a haploid structure, and therefore I get a total of 23 eggs which undergoes a division or multiplication, and then I get 46 XX. In this case, it is being fertilized by two spermatozoa, empty egg being fertilized by two spermatozoa, and I get 46 XX. And in the third case, I find that both are XX here, whereas one is X, one is Y in a case of the third one. And empty egg, I get a number of 46 XY. So that is how I get 46. This particular diagram, you people can memorize and draw. It is important in the pathogenesis of the complete mole. It is not compatible with the embryogenesis and it will not be containing the fetal parts. The abnormal fertilization with excess of the paternal genetic material. Go to the previous slide, you find that there is a paternal genetic material. Paternal means from the father. This genetic material is normal or in excess. And you find that an empty egg is being fertilized. Finally, you find 46 chromosome zygote is produced. all the chromosomes are of paternal origin because the fetal part of the egg is empty. So this is complete mole. Draw the diagram and explain this. In a case of a partial mole, how do I get 69? Here, the fetal part contains the 23x. The maternal part contains 23x. And this is being fertilized by the spermatozoa. And they can be either 23x or they can be 23y. When it is with a single spermatozoa, you find that it adds on and I get 46XX, to which this is added, I get a total of 69. Similarly, in the next one also there is a duplication, I get 69XXY. In the other cases, it is a maternal part that contains 23X being fertilized by two spermatozoa, as a result of which 23, 23 and 23 create a total of 69. That is how I get either of these or any of these 69XXX, XXY or XYY. All these possibilities are possible. Please by heart this picture. And the pathogenesis is as follows. A normal karyotype egg is being fertilized by two spermatozoa resulting in a triploid karyotype. And this contains two paternal. The majority is again paternal here and a single maternal. So this is the pathogenesis of partial mole. And the treatment for the mole will be a suction curettage. So anyway, the patient will have to be advised and a follow-up and a delicate gynec care is needed because a mole can predispose to a choriocarcinoma later on or a repeated abortion. This has to be taken care of. We shall see the rest in next. The topic here is choriocarcinoma. Again of importance in OBG and pathology. OBG probably it can come as a essay, part of a gestational trophoblastic disease. And in pathology also it has been asked as questions. 1 in 30,000 pregnancies in the US, more common in the Asian countries. It is a very aggressive malignant tumor that can arise from the gestational chorionic epithelium or less frequently from the gonads as a germ cell tumor. So we can get a choriocarcinoma from the testis, from the ovary, from the mediastinum, etc. So this is the picture of a choriocarcinoma, a large tumor, but more important will be there will be extensive areas of hemorrhage and necrosis. There is no definite format and a normal tissue is not seen. All this reddish brown color because of the hemorrhage and probably these blackish areas are areas of necrosis. And the predisposing factors for choriocarcinoma, you name them, you have them. N for normal pregnancy, A for abortions, M for mole, E for ectopic pregnancy, that is the name. Remember this mnemonic. A choriocarcinoma. You find that the tumor is ill-defined, somewhat pear-shaped, and I find that the cut surface, it is solid, hemorrhagic with lot of necrosis. So these are all areas of hemorrhage and there may be some thin fibrous septae which can be seen. Sometimes a viable tissue can be admixed, but otherwise it is generally hemorrhagic and necrotic. They say that it undergoes an autodestruction. Since the necrosis is so vast, it can destroy the tumor itself. And in some patients, we will be able to see some metastasis, but the primary tumor will not be there. The metastasis tells us the story. This is a choriocarcinoma of the testis. Again, a solid tumor with areas of hemorrhage and lot of fibrosis. This probably is an area of necrosis. Placenta is one site. It arises from the chorionic epithelium, and the extraplacental, it arises from the totipotential germ cell. It can occur in the testis, the ovary, or the mediastinum. This is a histological picture and it is derived from John Hopkins, a beautiful slide. I am finding two components. Just remember that there is a cytotrophoblast, there is a syncytiotrophoblast. I am finding that the cells are large. The cells are large and this slightly darker structure is the nucleus. There is a vesicular nucleus. Vesicular means it will allow light to pass through. Round or polygonal cells and there is a vesicular nucleus. I am finding a dot that is a nucleolus. So there is a nucleus, this is a nucleolus and this is a cluster of cells. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a syncytiotrophoblast. It appears darker. Look at these areas. I am finding multiple nuclei, no cell borders. This is the sheet of syncytium. Syncytium means sheet-like. This is yet another slide from the Wikipedia. I hope you people are able to see the choriocarcinoma. The cytotrophoblast, these are the cells which are having somewhat a grayish white cytoplasm. In other cases, it has got a bluish tinge. We call it amphophilic. And these are the nuclei. And elsewhere, there are some groups of cells. No, this is a syncytium. The darker one is always a syncytium. It contains multiple nuclei and indistinct cell membrane. So there is the cytotrophoblast and the syncytiotrophoblast, but no villi. What are the features of this one? Please memorize. Sheets and nests of large round to polygonal cells, amphophilic cytoplasm, vesicular nuclei, prominent nucleoli. Deeply eosinophilic syncytiotrophoblast, no cell borders. Large areas of necrosis will be seen. No villi present. This will be the microscopic picture. Please by heart do not omit a single word. And the sites of metastasis will be lungs, vagina, brain, liver and kidney. And these are the markers, no? Beta HCG, classical of choriocarcinoma, it is increased and placental alkaline phosphatase is increased. These are the two markers and the mode of spread to this metastatic areas will be by hematogenous mode. What are the symptoms for a choriocarcinoma? Again, vaginal bleeding, there can be hemoptysis surprisingly, probably because the lung is being involved. Weight loss, increased in the uterine size. And there are two types of this choriocarcinoma, I said. It can be placental, it can be non-gestational. The placental has got a good prognosis in spite of it being aggressive. So when you give a chemotherapy, it undergoes a remission. And the treatment is chemotherapy itself. And these are due to the paternal antigens on the placental surface that you have a better prognosis in this type. In the testis and the ovary, they carry a poor prognosis. I hope you people will be able to describe it. Multiple vesicles, translucent, some are large, history of passing grapes, thin septae. Other things are given, go back and read. Partial mole, complete mole, by heart the differences. Gracias.